Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. get it on Saturday night at Staples Center out there in Los Angeles. It is an exhibition fight at the end of the day, so there's only so much that can happen. But here's the lowdown: 8 2-minute rounds, no headgear, no knockouts. Fight will be stopped if there's a cut. No official judges. There will be some WBC. They will have some ex-fighters judging the fights. But again, everything is unofficial. But this fight is exciting for a reason. People care about this fight for a reason, and mainly because it's Mike Tyson. We haven't seen Mike Tyson in forever. It's been a long time since we've seen Mike Tyson. So getting Mike Tyson in the ring is exciting for you, is exciting for me, and it's exciting for a lot of people. Now, what's going to happen? Let's be real. What's going to happen? First and foremost, Mike Tyson 54, Roy Jones Jr. 51. No one is going to get hurt. I repeat, no one is going to get hurt. They're not going to allow anyone to get hurt in this particular fight. If there's a cut, it gets stopped. You think if somebody's, if Mike Tyson hits Roy Jones Jr. with a combination and Roy Jones Jr. is hurt off that combination, referee's stepping in right away. There is no way that they're going to let any type of cumulative damage happen to Mike Tyson or Roy Jones Jr. Here's also the thing. Mike Tyson, throughout the course of his career, has pretty much been a 3-4 round fighter. After that, he tires out. So that's Mike Tyson when we were younger. This is Mike Tyson now. Mike Tyson at age 38, when he lost to Kevin McBride and quit on his stool, was hot garbage then. Mike Tyson now, 15 years later, he could be in the greatest shape ever. It ain't going to be much different. I mean, Roy Jones Jr., his last fight was in 2018. So if there's a guy who's been in the ring, it's a little bit more fresher in the ring at this point and has spent some more time in the ring in recent years, it's Roy Jones Jr. Now, I mean, obviously Roy Jones is the smaller guy and Tyson's the bigger guy. And we say exhibition, 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 but when it comes to Mike Tyson, do you think he knows what that means? Mike Tyson is a ferocious dude. He was ferocious during this time. He's still a ferocious guy, I believe. So Mike Tyson only knows one way, and that is, go right into the ring and go right at it as hard as he can, as long as he can. Now, at 54, I don't know how long he can go. So we can go on and on in terms of what could happen, what may not happen, what will happen. But at the end, I think Roy Jones Jr. is going to win it. And I think Roy Jones Jr. is going to win it because he's going to be the fresher of the two. And he's been the more active of the two. And so he's going to find a way to poke and peck Mike Tyson, stay away from Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson ultimately gas out. And he might even quit after the third or fourth round. I mean, I know it's 2-minute rounds, but again, this is a 54-year-old man. There's a reason people in their 50s don't fight. This is a 54-year-old man. So I think Roy, because he has had more activity over the years, will be able to hold him off for a period of time. And ultimately, Mike Tyson, again, will gas out. And Roy Jones Jr. will win by TKO in the fourth round. Mike Tyson will not make it off his stool. But there's a good possibility somebody gets cut in the first round and we end it headbutt or something, and this fight's a done deal. I don't think anybody's going to get hurt. So in terms of anybody that's concerned about anyone getting hurt, no one's going to get hurt in this fight. They will not allow anyone to get hurt in this fight. Period, point blank. No one will get hurt. Mike Tyson did an exhibition fight years ago, and, he did hurt the guy, but he made sure the guy didn't fall. So no one is going to get hurt. Let's be clear. No one. I saw Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman talking about their concern for Roy Jones in this particular fight. It ain't going to happen. Don't be concerned. The powers that be, the people, the California State Athletic Commission will not let anyone get hurt in this particular fight. It won't happen. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, I'm excited. I am excited about it. Again, I know this is not a prime Mike Tyson. I know this is not a prime Roy Jones Jr. But, man, I want to see. And I'm just as interested as the next man. I'm interested as the next man. Why not? This could be fun. You know how you don't. Was a mythical matchup, and we get to see it, albeit not at the highest of levels, but we still get to see it. It's not many times in life where you get to see mythical matchups. Mythical matchups are just that, mythical. You have an opportunity to see a mythical matchup here with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. And these two guys will go at it, and it's going to be fun for as long as it goes. It's going to be fun. Can't wait, and I will be looking forward to it. I will be watching, and I think this is going to do well on the pay-per-view market. I think it will do well on the pay-per-view market. I think people are going to buy it. I think people care. And here's also the thing. I know there's a pandemic out there which could negatively affect it in terms of people and their finances, but it could do the opposite as well, because you're going to have a lot of people that's going to be in the house. So I think you're going to have a lot of people in the house. So with a lot of people in the house, now granted, people aren't going to be all together because of COVID, but people are going to be in individual houses, and they're not going to be able to do much. They're not going to be able to see much. So they might as well just watch it. This particular fight is not the price of your traditional pay-per-view. If you look at Errol Spence and Danny Garcia, that fight is $74.99. This fight is $49.99. So it's not your typical price in terms of pay-per-view. So you put all that together, and you might get a decent amount. You could get 500,000 buys. You could get 500,000 buys. You could easily. You might even get more. People care. We could say, oh, we want that these two guys are has-beens, but people care. They're great has-beens. So people do care. And because people care, people will watch. And because people will watch, I think this is going to do pretty good pay-per-view numbers. The last time Roy Jones Jr. fought a heavyweight was a one-time deal back in 2003 against John Ruiz. So, and there was talk that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. back then were going to get it on. Didn't happen ultimately. It didn't happen. But we're going to get it finally. We're going to get it. And it may not be the way you want it, but you're going to get it. And it should be a lot of fun. Can't wait. Tyson Jones.